Hey everyone! So today, let's talk about one of the oldest games in the world. But we're not just talking about winning or losing. We're diving into how chess is, quite literally, the ultimate workout for your brain, sharpening everything from your focus to your memory.
So let's get right to it. It's a pretty big question, right? Can a game, moving little pieces around a board, actually make you smarter? Well, let's find out. Because as we're about to see, this isn't just some ancient pastime. Think of it like a mental gym, a workout that's been toning brilliant minds for centuries. All right, so what's the actual payoff here? I mean, what do you get out of this mental workout? Well, a ton, actually. We're talking about developing serious critical thinking skills, gaining laser-like focus, improving your memory, and yeah, some studies even suggest it can give your IQ a nice little boost. Stick with me and we'll break down exactly how.
But first things first, before we get into all those amazing benefits, we've got to cover the basics, right? Let's talk about the playing field and, what's the actual goal of the game?
So, picture this. The arena is an 8x8 board. That's 64 squares, alternating light and dark, a real battlefield. And you? You get an army of 16 pieces, staring down your opponent from across the board. It's all set for a major strategic showdown. Now, the goal, it isn't just about grabbing as many of your opponent's pieces as you can. No, it's way more precise than that. The whole point, the ultimate goal, is checkmate. And what's that? It's when you've got their king backed into a corner with absolutely nowhere to run. It's trapped. There's no escape. That, my friends, is game over.
And let me tell you, not all pieces in your army are created equal. You got the queen. She's the absolute powerhouse, the MVP of the board. She can zip around in any direction she wants. And then you've got the pawn. It's the humble foot soldier just moving one square forward at a time. Super important for the team, for sure, but on its own, it's the weakest piece out there. And then there are pieces with some, let's call them, special moves. The knight is the perfect example. It's the only piece that can literally jump over other pieces. It has this weird, cool L-shaped move, 2 squares in one direction, then one to the side. It's these kinds of unique rules that make the game so incredibly deep and strategic. Okay, so we've got the basics down, but have you ever wondered where this game actually came from? Let's take a quick trip back in time and check out its amazing history.
The history of chess is really a story about a journey around the world. It all started way back around the 6th century in India. Back then it was called Chaturanga. From there, it made its way to Persia, where it became a huge deal with the nobility. Then, over the next few hundred years, it traveled through the Islamic world and eventually landed in Europe. And along the way, it kept changing, evolving into the game we all know and love today. It's truly a global icon of strategy. All right, so that brings us right back to where we started. Now that we know the rules and a bit of its epic history, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How exactly does playing this game give your brain such an incredible workout? Let's tackle that big claim right off the bat. Boosting your IQ? Seriously? Well, here's how it works. Chess forces your brain to juggle a bunch of things at once. We're talking pattern recognition, forward planning, memory, all at the same time. And this isn't just a hunch. There was a really famous study then in Venezuela that found kids' IQ scores went up, significantly, after just 4.5 months of learning chess. It's that intense mental multitasking that really pushes your brain to the next level. At its core, chess is all about planning. You just can't play move by move. That's a recipe for disaster. You have to think several steps ahead, trying to guess what your opponent is going to do while also building your own grand strategy. And of course, you have to be ready to change that plan on a dime. It's basically a masterclass in strategic thinking. And you know what you need for all that planning? Focus. I mean, intense focus. If you zone out for even a second, you can make a mistake, a blunder that costs you the entire game. So playing chess is like taking your brain to focus training boot camp. It teaches you how to lock in and concentrate, and that's a skill that's useful, well, pretty much everywhere in life, not just on the chessboard. And last but not least, let's talk about memory. Think about everything a good chess player has to keep in their head at once. All the rules, where all 32 pieces are, what the immediate threats are, what their long-term plan is. It's a lot. Every single game is like a workout for your working memory. You're just making that mental muscle stronger and stronger with every match. So, there you have it. We've looked at the game, we've traveled through its history, and we've seen just how amazing it is for your brain. And that brings us to one final thought, maybe the most important one. Something amazing about chess is that it's a lot like life. Every single move you make opens up a whole new world of possibilities. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know what this incredible game can do for your mind, what's your next move?